Hey guys, welcome to Live Stream 65. Fun old-fashioned live streaming. Ooh, that's a bright, I got a good bright spot right there. I have a light, but it sort of moves different places on me. Welcome all. C41. Let's see who we got. Jeffrey's here first and foremost. Radios is second. Oh, made it. Mike is here. I thought I might be late. Yeah, you and me both. YOLO. Lyle's here. Lights, camera, and Gordon. Jeffrey says, I actually made popcorn waiting, but I shared it with my dad. Now it's gone before the show. What is the matter with you? At least you shared it with your dear old dad. I wish I could still do that. 1 minute late. Am I 1 minute late? Sorry, Bonnie. Barry's here. Hey, buddy. Good afternoon from South Florida, my fellow filmmakers. I had to sell some disc golf discs. You know, that's something I never really got into. Well, I know it's not Frisbee because that's a brand. I never got into flying discs. I just was never good at it. Mine always wobbled when I tried to throw them. Is that so you could buy more cameras, Mike? So I got the Nikon R10 on Wednesday. I think I bought my best Super 8 camera yet. Yahoo! What a beautiful camera. Man. The Rams on TV, the live stream on my phone with one... You're double duty, aren't you there, Butch? Old radios, I'm certainly envious of your R10. I know I'd love to have another R10. I say another. I used to have one. I don't have any right now. Ooh, Bonnie, you're never late on island time. Hey, Eric's here. How are you, buddy? Barry, I have autocorrect. Next week, I don't know if I'm getting cameras in... Wait, I'm getting film for Thanksgiving in that R10. Woo! Are you going to shoot some Thanksgiving footage in that R10? I'm dying to see how it works out. Let's hit that thumbs up thingamajig. Yeah, hit the thumbs up if you're in here enjoying this stream full of liveliness. An F-16 day in Maine. That is a good day, Gordon. Super Cindy says, hi all. Hey, bud. I'm going to be inside this time. I'll get 500T. 500T is very grainy, but it's a beautiful film. Where am I at? I'm going to be 5.6 here in Florida. Yeah, it's an F5.6 day here. A little overcast. My wife isn't here. She is in... I'm hoping she'll pop on and say hi. She's at a business leadership meeting in Texas for the next couple days. So that's why I was even a little, like a minute or two later, because she usually keeps me on the tips of my toes for my live streams. That image of the coffee cup is taunting me. Are you talking about that image? Or is it that image? Ooh, I shoot people. But with cameras. My wife got that mug for me quite a while back. I love it. Jim's here. Hey, Jim. Mark Nichols is here. Hello to all you YouTube filmer dudes and filmer dudettes. Never used 500T yet. It's a fun film. It's very forgiving, like all Vision stock. More forgiving even than 50D, because 50D inside is tricky. Hello, Silver Horse. How are you? Good to see you here. It's an F8 day there. Well, you're right, smack in the center. You got clouds that are going past the sun. An F1.4 day here in Wales. Woo! So you are dark day in Wales. I just arrived. I wish I had been here when you mixed that drink. Woo! My buddy Bent is here. Yo, yo, yo. I'm amazed the auto exposure still functions in mine. Those go, don't they? That's what they're known for losing, is their auto exposure. Kind of like the 814, the Canon 814. It's the manual that goes out, the manual exposure, because of that little round rubber piece inside there that wears out. Sorry about spamming mails. That got me excited. If you have read them yet, you know what I mean. I did read them. I thought I responded, but I guess I didn't. I did read them, though, and you don't ever have to be sorry about sending me emails, especially exciting ones like that. Hey, Jake is here. Hey, Cov Race. That is Jake, everybody. Jake is the fella behind some of the stuff that I present to you. He sent me quite a bit of stuff, cameras, and he sends me old film reels and cans, and he keeps my archive alive. So it's good to see you, Jake. Who's texting now? That's Bonnie. I'm seeing new names today, which is good. It's always good. I like 500T, not so crazy about 200T. 200T is a little flat. I don't know, James. Mr. James Cahill, I like 200T. To me, I almost like them in order. I like 50D, 200T, and then 500T the least. Although 500T is probably your most versatile. But I do like 200T. I like that it's not a completely grainless film. But I like that there's enough of it there, but it's not overly saturated with sandpaper, grain. F8 and be there, here. It's an F8 day there, huh, Mike? Such a great camera, it deserves a Pelican case. I reserve the finest camera for these. Or you could go to Harbor Freight and get their Pelican cases, which are about a third of the price, and they're fantastic cases. There's Cecil. Howdy, how are you, my friend? Just sent a picture of something I bought a few days ago. All right, where's Mike? Mike. Blush. Yeah, I appreciate it. Everything you do, Jake. So Bonnie sent me a text. Anybody want to venture a guess if it is a... Where's Mike? If it is what Mike usually claims it's going to be? Please let it be... He's already talking about it. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Where's Bonnie? No, it is not a Rickroll. Bonnie says something about... What is that, Bonnie? Kodak film. I can't read the language, the native language. 12 exposures, color film. Is that... That's a 135. It's a funky looking cartridge, though. Check that out. You guys see that? Did you buy that, Bonnie? It was $19.63. The best film is the one you have in your camera. Yes, absolutely. Grain makes me grim. 50D is definitely the best IMO, in my opinion. Rickroll. It was not a Rickroll. Yeah, Ben, you're absolutely right. I generically call foam cases Pelican cases. Oh, you do? Okay, I got you. I have a bunch of the generic ones, and they're great. Hello from Orlando. Haven't used film since 2003, but I do enjoy watching all these film channels instead of digital, even though that's what I use. Well, first of all, hello, who is Seraphin, and thank you for joining a live stream from Orlando. We're not too far away. I'm in the Daytona Beach area. 2003 is the last time you used film. Well, you need to get back in the game, okay? But anyway, thank you so much for joining. And by the way, we all use digital. Let's not kid ourselves. Everybody in this group uses digital at some point. We have our phones. I have digital cameras. I record all my YouTube videos digitally. So, I mean, we can't pretend we don't use digital. There's nothing wrong with using digital. Yes, Travis, I said it. And speaking of Travis, he slides into the chat box. Slides into the chat box. I like 200T for indoor-outdoor. 500T is great for low-light indoor filming. Yes, it is, Cecil. Absolutely. It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to be indoors. It gets dark. earlier, so 500T. Yeah, I think 500T, if it's going to be like lit by your indoor home lighting, especially unless you're lighting specifically for a certain film type. I scratched the heck out of my wrist, not intentionally, on the corner of my desk. Yeah, but definitely 500T if you're using just your standard indoor home lights. Saw a video of Rick Astley singing "Never Gonna" throughout the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and the 20s. I know. It's crazy. Well, the different shows, Jeffrey, like from his different appearances. That would be really cool. It'd be cool if they just they butt them up end to end, so it was one complete song. That would be even cooler. Translates toilet paper roll. Oh, it's a toilet paper roll holder. That's what I get for not paying attention. That is a toilet paper roll holder. Even better. Oh my God. Bonnie. A toilet paper roll holder. I love it. Oh boy. Who is welcome? Travis says welcome. I got my first digital camera in 2007. Let's see. I had about my 19th digital camera in 2007. Fine for showing stuff instantly. Yes, it is. I am 90% digital, 10% analog. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, we can't argue the fact that once you have a digital camera, it's cheap. I mean, everything you do is cheap. It's the cost of an SD card or whatever the medium, you know, that you're recording to. I'm 50-50, says Radios. You know, in all honesty, I shoot tons of film. But even I'm 50-50 probably. Because I have children and I record a lot of them and a lot of their events and things like that, and just out and about. Shooting film is so much fun, but it does require forethought. For the most part, when you take a Super 8, 16, or 8mm camera out into the wild and you're just on a casual walk, you got to stop and you got to think about what you're going to film or what you're going to do when you want to get a shot of this or this. You have to focus. You have to set your f-stop. I mean, there's things that you don't have to do when you pick up your iPhone or your Android or whatever, and you know, I mean, come on, who are we kidding? Have you tried Filmpan R100 AA film? Interested in? I have not. I don't think I have. No. And I think that's reversal because it's very difficult to process. And I do all my own processing, as you guys know. In fact, I had to send a roll back to Radios because I don't process R100. Now, they do have a negative Filmpan 100. That would be kind of cool. I've shot a lot of Filmpan 35mm that I absolutely love. That's probably my favorite Filmpan 100 35mm film, black and white. But not in 8mm or Super 8. I got my light and we'll split. Yeah, put it right on top of the camera. Nothing wrong with digital. It's the better format in many cases. But while digital film is magic, film is absolutely alchemy. Yes, that's a great way to put it. Cecil said he just shot a roll of expired 500T and regular A currently in the freezer. I may use it for Christmas. Oh, you have a roll. You didn't just shoot it. You have a roll. Hey, Matthew's here. Happy Sunday, my friend. Thank you for being here. I got cats and equipment to post online. Cats and equipment. Radio's got his first Digicam in 1999. It was lousy even for 1999. Oh, I'm going backwards here. Dims for a minute. Oh, you did say you just shot a roll of 200T, regular 8, just waiting for it to come back. Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. You going to post it on your channel, Cecil? That'd be nice. Phil, you want the film-themed toilet paper holder. Not shot any color negative. I like projecting, so reversal is my thing. Just wish Ektachrome was a bit cheaper. You know, projecting is the way to go with film. There's just no doubt. My only contention is, yeah, I think projecting is the best way to view a film because that you don't miss anything. And I think it's the most beautiful way to look at a film. You just can't really share it until you digitize it. And I am in the hobby of sharing, so but I do love shooting Ektachrome 100D. It's easy to process too. By the way, I just processed a roll. I'm not showing it, but it's not mine. It was a customer. But I processed a customer roll of Kodachrome K40 Super 8 film, manufactured in 1981. Right? So 43 years old. That came out just as good as a roll Plus X. I was stunned. And 47 feet of it had been previously exposed by some of her family members. And so I shot the last 3 feet just so I can determine, before pulling the film, how much had actually been shot. And even my footage, which I don't think oh yeah, I didn't scan it, it's only 3 feet, but you're not going to be able to see probably, but man, did they come out good. No way you're going to see that, but I don't know, maybe I'll try and scan that little tiny section. Of course, I've been sort of fingerprinting it up. Very rare. I told her, I said, man, we got lucky on this. We get 1 out of 100 that come out good. I mean, good, like, good quality black and white film. Travis says, I've never had anything against digital. I've been shooting digital photography, but I shoot digital photography too, but the Alchemist doesn't allow me to post it without an accompanying film photo escort. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm honestly like 30% digital and 70% analog. All right, Bonnie, there's nothing wrong with that. Buying digital cameras is not cheap. The gear acquisition syndrome is real. The gas is real. If not more, digicams, lenses, bags, camera straps, filters. They're not cheap by any means. I meant, like, once you have the equipment, then you're endless what you can do with it. But you're absolutely right. I mean, buying, especially if you try to stay on top of it. I mean, just this alone, I have an old iPhone. Mine's the old iPhone 11 Pro Max. I mean, they're on like 16 now. I can't keep up with the iPhones. They're too expensive. So, you know, I wait till they run a good deal, and then we all get new ones, and we keep them for years. I've never shot double Super 8 film before, and I just sent 2 rolls of double Super 8 film. Ooh, man. Come on. Sorry, guys. I'm really far behind. To be developed and scanned, I shot with my Bolex double Super 8 with my other and the other. Oh, that'll be interesting to see, Jim. Well, I do use a couple $100 in Polaroid Instant every year. Does that count as film? Yes, that is absolutely film, and that is really cool. I love Polaroid stuff. We have a regular here. He's got a great YouTube channel also, Dave Knopp from Knopp Top, but he shoots a lot of Polaroid, and that is just such a neat form. It's analog for sure. I have a Bolex light meter for my Bolex, but I didn't know how to use it. Or you don't know how to use it. So it's one of the, like, the old ones, right? What do they call them? Yeah, the old ones. No battery ones. You want a Game Boy camera. Well, I was just talking about that with Dave Knopp. Well, Dave and I met up once in Indiana. And he brought some of those cool, like, Fisher-Price or something, VTech toy cameras. Man, they're just so cool. You can print out photos with them, like, really, you know, like almost look hand-drawn on that white thermal cash register paper. Hey, Manny is here. Hey, buddy. The Foam-Pan R is also meant for negative. According to their website, you just expose it a little different. Yeah, I was just terrified that I was going to screw it up. So I got it back to Radios. He had sent me a roll. I've never processed a roll of it in negative form, and I've read so many horror stories about it just not coming out. But unless what you're saying, you just have to expose for it. Pretty sure you could use 70mm film in the toilet paper holder. Mike, do you use your Canon M50 for more than your YouTube channel? I love mine and use it a lot, actually. I don't. Cecil, you know what I did? I say no, but I have done some, but very little. My wife works at a vet clinic, and I went and did a bunch of professional photos, portrait photos of the vets for their corporate website. And I used that camera and just the stock lens, and I think they came out well. So, no, I really don't use it a lot. It doesn't leave the house very often. Fomapan, easy to get in Europe. Heard that some have developed as negative using stand. Alternative to Kodak for us in Europe. Alternative to Kodak for us in Europe. I've never tried doing it in stand. Like I say, I've never tried doing it as a negative. I have only just read that it's very difficult. Fomapan R100 can be processed with a more friendly reversal bleach than the dichromate one. It's based on potassium permanent. I know, I've heard that, Super Cine, and I've read up on it a little bit, and I've also worked with a little bit of the peroxide and what is it? Peroxide and vinegar bleach process, or no, acetic acid. I just never had any good luck with that. Now I know the permanganate is way more effective, but I just haven't messed with it. Everything works except the auto zoom on your R10. Whoa! Is the Canon new acquisition, or have you had it for a while? Love good Kodachrome 40. It will come out well sometimes. I was stunned, actually, Manny. Foma, Ilford. Yeah, Ilford is very well known in Europe. I don't use it much here, but I think it's very equivalent to what we have here. Speaking of horror, sci-fi. I don't even have to finish reading your comment, Jeffrey. It mounts to the top of the camera. I know which one you're talking about, Jim. I just don't. It's that selenium light meter. And the only thing I don't like about those is there's different. You could put the white thing on front if you're not getting the right reading. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. Some of those old school light meters, I don't know how accurate they are. Maybe more accurate than what we use now, but I just use an app anymore. A 35mm Ninja Turtle camera, those are cool. You have the, oh Bent, you have the camera and the printer. I have the Game Boy Color, but I never got the printer or the camera. Go Patriots! Hey Rich, thank you for joining. Time-stamped Raphael on the picture. Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. Frames per second at 360 divided by the shutter angle will give you the shutter speed for your old light meter. Yeah, they take a little bit of brain thinking power, but they should work fine. Thank you for that, Manny. Who's my favorite Ninja Turtle, by the way? Donatello. Toilet paper holder would make a cool pinhole camera. That would be cool. I'm going to do a fade in with the variable shutter filming my titles when I get this film. Do it. Do it. Potassium pomegranate? I'll make note of that. Yeah, okay. I have a few old school light meters, but I understand the app better. I do too. I have a bunch of those old school ones. I don't have a clue how to use the Bolex meter, just my spectrometer. So I found this, guys. Check this out. This is C41 Developer. 2 entire liters of C41 Developer. I just found this under my sink. This, the Blix, it's the 3-part, the Blix and the stabilizer. I just found it under my sink where I keep all of my chemicals, right there in full reach of my small children. Kidding. Yeah, I do keep it under the sink, but my children aren't small. So anyway, I just found this, and I had forgotten that I mixed it on, you ready for this? couple weeks before Halloween 2021, I mixed this batch up. Yeah. Oh, I was texting with Travis when I was experimenting with it. I have a P3 that does that. Oh, you finished the 4X stuff. I'm dying to know how that worked out. I know they're really cool there, Rich. Some of those old meters are awesome. So, I've used a lot of C41 developer in my life. Gallons and gallons. Never, ever, and it doesn't last. It really doesn't. 2 to 3 months once it's mixed. So, never have I tried to use developer that was over 3 years old. So here's what I did. I took one of my old, I don't think you guys can see them, maybe you can, right on the corner there. Oh, yeah. I took an old Canon AE1 program, right? I'll show you. I took this camera, cleaned it up a little bit. I have a bunch of these old AE1 program cameras. So I took this one and I put a roll of 200, Kodak Gold 200. I think that's what I used. Was it? Oh, I don't even have it over here. Yeah, I used Kodak Gold, or maybe it was Fuji. I think it was Fuji. 200 speed. In this camera, went outside, knowing full well that this probably is going to give me 0 results, and I just took a bunch of pictures outside. The flowers. My wife was out there. I took pictures of her and the dog, and knowing that's probably just going to be throwaway footage. So my experiment was, let's see if we can get any images out of developer C41 specifically, which does not have good holding power once mixed. If we can get any images out of it after 3 years in a cool, dark environment. I have the negatives right here. Does anybody, I'll give you guys about 2 minutes. I want to know what you think happened. I put that roll, and then I put an old roll of found film that I knew probably was going to be junk anyway. So 2 rolls in a Patterson tank. What do you think happened? Yeah, Bonnie, I've had that happen as well. Oh, once used some 6-month-old black and white developer, and the film still looks like I spilled milk on it. Slide film developers diminish faster than bananas from the grocery store, and that is quick. Hey, there's Dave Knopp. I was just talking about you. Washed out faded images. Mike says it worked. So okay. Let's find out. Oh, I'll find out first. Yeah, send it on over, radios. I'm ready when you are. I may try this with black and white developer as well. My HC110B, I might mix a batch of that, put it in a container, and then try it again a year later. Try it 1 year later and see if we get any results. Usually still work. The developer should have become a lot weaker, but they usually still work if left unopened. Here's the thing. I don't know if I used it. I made it in this 2 liter batch because I have a 5-reel Patterson as well, and I was going to do 5 reels at a time. I mean, it's 3 years old. I may have used it once, twice, not at all. I don't know. Limelight Darkroom, hey, how are you? Thank you for joining us. They say either no images or extremely faint, had some C41 sit around for 3 months in a cool environment, tested it, and no images, even with 2 stops overexposed. And I'm glad you said that, 2 stops. So what I did to give it every opportunity that I got, I processed it for double the recommended time. 102 degrees Fahrenheit. So I believe it's 3.5 minutes when it's fresh. I processed for 7 minutes, and then I blixed for not 6.5, but for 13 minutes, stabilized it, well, washed it really good for a long time, 10 minutes, and then stabilized it for a couple minutes. The stabilizer does nothing to the actual, it keeps it, it stabilizes the colors and whatnot. So that wasn't necessary really because I just want to see if it was going to work. Quadruple the times maybe, yeah. I did double them. It worked, and we've been lied to about expiration dates. See, now this is totally different than if it was still in powder form and it expired 3 years. I wouldn't be afraid to use it at all. I think it would be fine. So, Barry says dark. That Nito 6080 and Lycina and Beaulieu can't wait. Forgot to mention, it's just my name, but I changed my username to something only slightly less silly. It's just me, name, but okay. Are you somebody we're used to, Limelight Darkroom? Because I've never seen that screen name before. Do we know you? It's just me, name. Maybe a Karina Zoom. All right, Travis says, Limelight Darkroom. Yeah, color film developer usually expires around 3 months. I don't even keep mine lying around. I make a gallon of stock solution and use as much as I can and pour it out after about 6 rolls. Jim says, old radios, the Nizo 6080 is the most sophisticated. I have one of those, or maybe it's the 4080 or I don't remember. I have one of the ones, 200-foot mag one. It doesn't work though. The question was the C41 tasty after. It was a little bitter, you know, salty, but it was fine. Do not drink, developer, please. Jeffrey. Here's a fun thing we can do. We mix a full kit, developer stop and fix, on the first live of 2025. Wait 1 year, and then develop a roll of film with those chemicals on the first live of 2026. I think you're on to something, Bonnie. I think you are on to something. What developer do you want to mix? I can get with that. I was here last live stream. Username was... Oh, okay, me name was your username. You were here last... That's right, last week. I remember. I like Limelight Darkroom better than me name. But I recently changed it. Yeah, good change. All right, we'll call you Limelight, if that's okay. The only other good Canon Super 8 I don't have is the AF and D8. Get them. I experimented a bit with Rodinol, letting it stand for a while and even reusing it for another 2 rolls. It degrades very quickly, but I got some usable rolls with the second batch. Hey, Ben is here. Hey, Mike and everyone. Sorry I'm late. There's no excuse for that, Ben. No excuse. How about FOMA reversal? So, Ben, I'm talking about this. I found a 2 liters of C41 developer under my kitchen sink that I mixed 10/13 of 2021. October 13. I know in Europe we'll say 13th of October, which probably makes more sense, of 2021. I did a test to see if it would work after 3 years under my sink in a cold, dark place. You got to remember, this was exactly 1 year-ish after I even started my YouTube channel that I mixed this. All right, here we go. Caffeinol and then... yeah, Caffeinol, Barry. I meant Canon Double Super 8. Those are cool cameras. That's the, like the Scoop-ic, right? All right, you guys ready for the negatives? I got them right here, right in my handy little bucket. Here is the results of 3-year-old C41 film, C41 developer, never used. Ooh. Hello, I'm Michael Clear. If my wife was here, she would say, oh, that's clear, your favorite color. Look at that. There's the results, kids. Doubled the times with 3-year-old chemicals. Yeah. Nothing. Zilch. Zero. Nada. Nunca. I hope I didn't just say a swear word. Empty. Would be interesting to know if 1 year, I mean, if we shave 2 years off of that, if 1 year would have made a difference. Also, it would be interesting to know if it was just the developer that went bad. I wonder if the blick, and by the way, the developer looked as dark as the blicks. So I kind of knew going in, as soon as I poured it into the Patterson tank, that we were in trouble. So yeah, I know, Agent, it was terrible. Luckily, I used junk film, so I didn't really ruin anything important. Maybe for hours, I'm guessing, maybe to leave it overnight, Ben, I don't know. But I kind of wonder, had I used, what if I used new developer and tried the Blix that was old. Maybe it's just the developer. I don't know. Who knew? Who knows? Those pictures are amazing. You guys want to see those beautiful pictures again? Ooh, look at that. Stunning images. It's funny because, you know, oftentimes, certain circumstances, you could really see, I mean, insanely faint images. Or even insanely faint edge numbers. I'm telling you, there is insanely nothing on this film, edge numbers or otherwise. Edge codes, no markings at all. It cleared everything. Oh boy. Can you freeze developer? Ooh! See, you guys, and I have a freezer that is only, I would never do it in my food freezer, but I have a freezer, a deep freezer, that's only for film. That's another thing. So maybe we do this. Maybe we mix a batch of developer, fixer, or I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but we freeze one of them and we don't freeze the other, and we use them both the same day, like a year later or 6 months or something. Limelight says, I wasted a roll of Portra 800 finding this out myself with 3-month-old developer. I know, it's sad, but it's good to know. So I know this experiment is pretty meaningless because nobody in their right mind is going to use 3-year-old mixed developer. In their right mind, I said. In their experiment mind, maybe. At this side, I know a guy who freezes his, swears by it. Let me tell you what, if it does work, it wouldn't be a bad thought for something like E6. Because E6 is arguably the most expensive of the developing kits. And most of the time you don't use it that often because E6 film and slide films are a little more expensive typically than negatives. So maybe use it once or twice, strain it real good, freeze it. You get a few more rolls, you unfreeze it that night, and then use it again. I don't know, that might be worth trying. I have some brand new E6 that's not yet been mixed that was shipped to me by FPP. So I might try that. I might try that. Time to hand paint some negatives. Now you're talking. Polar bear in a snowstorm pics. Ooh. This is what's stopping me from DIY developing, that and having no place or room. Let me tell you, don't let having nowhere to do it stop you. I have a smaller house than any of you watching this. I promise you. And there's 4 of us living in it. Just ask Travis, he's been here. There's always a way, but I do agree with you, if you're not going to use your chemicals, if you're only doing it for yourself, I do it because I showcase a lot of stuff on my channel. So I use my developer and my chemicals a lot. I have a few little customers that send me stuff, and I will help them with things, you know, when they're looking for a kind of a specific look with old film. So yeah, as far as that goes, it's not overly economic if you're not going to use it. And technically speaking, I use FPP 110 or HC 110 for my black and white developer. And technically, you really probably should use it as a one-shot. So I mix it 31:1. I should develop my roll or 2 of Super 8 or 16 millimeter and then dump it. In most cases, I do. If I develop 2 rolls of Super 8 with it, with my 1.5 liters, I'll dump it. If I'm only going to develop 1 roll, or if it's a roll that has no rim jet or something like that, you can get another roll or 2 out of it, and I will keep it. I typically would not do that with a customer's film. I do it with mine. Extend the time a little bit, or just add a couple drops of concentrate, and it works fantastic. So, all this technical talk. I saw a video yesterday of someone shooting and developing 72-year-old Super XX cool stuff. That is really fun, and I have developed 70-something-year-old double X like that, and it's amazing stuff. What's more amazing than that, Matthew, is that it actually works. It's insane that it still works. I have a video. where I used my 100-year-old Bell & Howell 16mm camera and 70-year-old film in it. I don't remember what film I used, but it was all in that vein. But that's fascinating. Always fascinating. Reminds me of that one time where I tripled the filming time for no reason. It was a transparent experience. There have been many times where I've shot a roll of film, be it Vision stock or even Ektachrome 100D, and I didn't think about it. I processed it and it came out completely clear. It's because my developer was just too old. I have now, since I have a couple rolls of practice film that I shot, that I'll do a snip, I'll test my developer. If it comes out fine, then I'll use it on my good roll. If it doesn't, then I know I have to replace it. And I do that just about every time. I have a call coming in from my in-laws. But we're going to be done here in about 15 or 20 minutes-ish, so I will call them back. I'm going to ask lots of dumb novice questions when it comes to home. Do you ask away? I am here to help. I have a bottle of stopper and one with fixer I mixed a year ago. Might try something like... Try it! I'd like to know. Old radios. I developed movie film with a changing bag and Lomo tank. It really doesn't take up a lot of space. Try HC110 like Mike said. Yes, Cecil's really gotten good at it too. So listen to what he says. Once you figure out a little changing bag or one of those little changing tents, you can put your film in a Lomo tank once you get it sorted out pretty easily. What's Bonnie said? Or we mix them developer and Blix, but split them in half so the developer is in the freezer and the other half. Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. Just do half and half. Try it, you know. Give me 1 second, guys. I just have to check something. Let me do... Sorry, guys. It's my wife just got off an airplane in Texas, and her mom and dad are just making sure she got there safely. So let me text them back. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. We have a couple things I want to go over. I figured out shooting on my own, and YouTube University I'll eventually get into my thing. Yeah, you'll get it. It's not a big deal. I know, Bonnie. It goes by so quick. And I am so, I'm so far behind. Oh, no, I'm not. It's crazy how time flies. Photoshop from 1978. I'll watch the episode, develop first, and the books to borrow on Internet Archive. I have a couple of good books, and see, get the darkroom cookbooks. Can you guys see that right there? There's several darkroom cookbooks that have helped me along the way in the last few years. So a couple things I want to go over. Let me move this camera. I'm going to move this back to where it goes. Okay, there's that. I want to recognize somebody very quickly and see if anyone is interested. There is a gentleman by the name of Todd at CK Filmworks. Todd at CK Filmworks. I don't think that he is in the chat right now, but if you are, Todd, I just want to say thank you very much. Todd sent me 10 foamies. What are foamies, you say? These eyepieces. You know, the chamois that go over your eye cup? It's about 1.5 inches. I don't know what that is in millimeters, but it's about 1.5 inch circle, and then it's cut in the center about another inch total. So it'll fit eye cups, most any eye cups, like the larger 16mm stuff. Anything from about 1.5 inches to about 2.5 inches, these chamois. And these things are really cool, and they're so comfortable on your eye. Let me show you what I did. So I put one, ooh, this thing is a tank, on my CP16. See there? It fits over your eye cup, and then it just, you're not putting hard plastic, because these things deteriorate, these old rubber eye cups, so it doesn't feel like hard plastic against your eye. Now your eye is resting comfortably against this brown chamois. Ow. So he sent me 10 of those. He picked up a really good deal on a whole bunch of them on eBay, and was kind enough to send me some. So what I'm going to do is be kind enough to spread the wealth a little, and I'm going to take 5 of these, because he sent me 10, and I'm going to put one on my Airflex 16S, and I'm going to put one on, I don't know, I'm going to look around. I'm going to keep 5 for myself, but I want to send 5 of these out. Again, you need to have the bigger eye cup. It would probably fit on the Bolex, on their bigger eye cups. It is a workhorse. You're not kidding, Jim. No viewing more films today then. Yes, we are, Mike. I promise you. We have Manny's film coming up. There's a couple things. I'm going to miss some comments because there's a couple things I want to cover before we are done. I started with Caffeinol and a bottle of Fixer, the cheapest film I could find. Learned a lot by just trying out the craziest stuff. That's the way you learn. Apple make eye cups? Eye cups. Oh, I can always rely on you, Jeffrey. Love having the chamois. So nice. They're just comfortable. I think my camera being in Japan, its life and it's muggy, it's the rubber going back. Yeah, they'll start getting, the rubber will just get hard. I would like to have one of those eye cups. Will it fit on my Bolex? I don't know. My Bolex is put away right now. I don't know if it will fit. You know what? We may go a little long today. I'm sorry. But I'll take out the Bolex and let's just find out. I'm thinking Travis. I don't know if Travis is still here. Are you still here, Travis? Boy, this eyepiece on this Bolex is a mess. I really need to just get a new eyepiece for my Bolex, the right one. Because you can see mine. I mean, this is a hot mess. Travis, there's Travis. Do you want one of these, Travis, for your CP? See what it's very comfy. If you do, I'll save you one. All right, Travis. They should, yeah. Let me see if you know what. That's the 5 that I'm going to give away. There they are. And if you'll look, they're split. Center split. So let's see if we can get this around. You just gotta work it on there. My coffee cup is empty, but the coffee maker is empty too. It does fit. In fact, it fits nicely. Fits rather nicely. Let's just see what we are dealing with. Can't see because, well, I'm not. Come on now. This is the struggle is real when you why am I not seeing anything? The struggle is real when you wear glasses. It's a little loose on there. I'm not closed. it fits. I'm just going to leave it at that. It does fit. I stopped down all of the way. Oh. We were on F22, and these viewfinders are not bright. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it feels so much better than putting your eye against that hard plastic. So I'll be leaving that one on there. Absolutely. Well, who sells these again? I don't know, Jim, who sells them, but sure, I like the pillow texture. I could use those cups on my World War II headphones I restored recently. Doesn't hurt to have those. No, it doesn't hurt at all. You restored some World War II headphones? That's pretty awesome. I wish I knew more about the wars. I've watched tons of documentaries, and I'm fascinated by our militaries in general, you know, and what they have done for us over the years. And I appreciate everybody that has served in the military. So we're going to show one film tonight. I do want to ask a question. So we're going to give some of these away. Maybe we'll do that next week because we're running behind today. I still want to show a film, but think about that. If you guys want one of these, we'll talk about them next week. But thank you so much, Todd. I don't know if you're watching this after the fact, but I really appreciate this. I haven't emailed him back yet. I need to thank him personally. But he sent me 10 of these, and I am going to gift 5 of them. Hey, Jim is here from Greece. Hello, my friend. That Bolex bag is bad. You know what? $10 at a garage sale. I talked about it before. It's a porta brace that I got, brand spanking new. I could not believe it. All right. I want to ask how you guys, I have a way, it works most of the time, it just takes a while, when you process 35mm film. We all do that, right? Who doesn't process and scan 35mm? I have a flatbed scanner, an Epson, you know, the V600. This is what you end up with most of the time. Can you guys see that? See how the film curls? Look at that. Well, that's how it sits in the scanner. Now, I know if you're using, there are some scanners that don't require it to sit flat, that it scans like I think the Pack-On, and there are some scanners, but when you're using a flatbed scanner, like mine, the film needs to be flat, flat, flat. Here's what I usually do. I usually process a roll of film, and then, this is found film, by the way, so I'm not that concerned with it, and then I roll it back up, but I roll it backwards against itself. So opposite. Yeah, Ben, what what scanner do you use? So I roll it against itself, against the natural bend, so it bends it the other way. And I usually leave it like that for, I don't know, just a few days. And most of the time, when I start cutting it into photos of 6 or 6 frames, it stays flat long enough, but it eventually does start to slowly curl up again. Oh, you do it with your camera. See, that's the way to do it, probably. But let me show you what happens when you scan film. You guys have heard of the term Newton rings, right? The shiny side should face down, right? Because that's where the camera part is, in the bottom of a flatbed. And that's why it's backwards. They're terrible, Travis. They're flimsy. And that's what, okay, you guys have heard the term Newton rings, right? This is one frame of found film. I processed this yesterday. And it's been rolled up inside like I just showed you. This was rolled up for a full 24 hours. And you scan, and you end up with this, okay? If you look close, you can see in the center where the rings are, where the film, the guy on the far left in the back, look right above his head, looks like he got a halo above his head. And as you work your way across the entire frame all the way to the other side, it's just simply where the film is touching the glass. That's all it is. They just call them Newton rings. The Coolscan 5000, is that the flatbed though, right? Or is that a feed one? I've heard of it, but I've never used one. By the way, check out that camera on the far right of the photograph. Talking about digital, remember it looked like a VHS-C camcorder. You see it? Where you hold it like this? It's like you're holding a shoebox. Like she's holding it, you know? And you film and you can twist it, the handle. Thought it was a miracle. So I don't know how to keep this flat other than the way I'm doing it. Some people say, you know, put them in the sleeves, right? Those sleeves you can buy. I can't remember the name brand, but and then keep them. It's just that doesn't work for me. The only thing I know to do is to roll them backwards. You got one of those. Oh, it's a feed. Okay, pricey on the bay. Yeah. Sometimes the newts and rings occur using glass negative carriers in the enlarger. Yes, you need one of those film holders with magnets. It presses the film down to make it flat. Then you shut it, close, and remove the magnet perfectly straight. No more. So it almost clamps it in there, right? Yeah, that's what you need. Ugh. But do they make those bent? Do they make them for like my flatbed scanner, the Epson V600? Those types that fit in there? I remember those video cameras. A friend had a Super VHS. Yeah, had a big chunky screen, very innovative. Yeah, you were watching the back. The back of it was basically the whole screen. Eric says some films are very difficult to scan, others good. Portra 800 is great for scanning. So it stays pretty flat. I've noticed that. Some films just know how to stay flat. One second. I'll get with you. I'll get with you, Jim. That was one of our members, Jim. Scan others good. Portra 800 is great for scanning. They work in all flatbeds as far as I know. All right, I gotta do a little research. Sharp made some 8mm. Yeah, I think that's the ones I'm thinking of, Cecil. Those Sharp ones. The handle, you put your hand through the little slot, and then the handle would rotate. And I think the camera was in the handle, and you could hold your screen flat. They were funky. I don't know. The Newton happens when the film touches the glass. Yes, so you need at least a little distance. The further away you go, the lens is sharp becomes though, so keeping it clamped is your best bet. Yeah, and you don't want it so curved, even if the bottom isn't touching, that now you're out of focus in some areas. I don't. It's tough. So we have a film. Yes, we're a little over an hour, but I want to show you film. But first, before I do, I want to tell you about it. So we have our good buddy Manny from T.O. Manny's World. This is his Tri-X that I sent him. I sent 5 rolls of Tri-X if you're new to this live stream. They're very old. They were all manufactured in 1983, these particular rolls. So I sent 5 rolls of Tri-X to 5 different people in 5 different parts of the country in the United States. Over a period of 4 or 5 months, we got them all back. I processed them all. I scanned them all. 2 or 3 wanted me to just go ahead and post them as is and add a little music, whatever I thought was kind of neat. And then 2 or 3 wanted their films back. They wanted to play with them, and then they sent them back to me, and then we're going to show those in a bit. I do have Jeffrey's film back. His is going to be up to bat next Sunday. Still waiting on Dave Knopp and Matthew. When they get theirs finished and sent back to me, we will show those. In the meantime, we have Manny. Now, let me say that Manny admitted he had trouble with his cameras. He told me that. He goes, I don't know what's going to come out. His cameras were, and you'll see at the beginning, it's flipping, you know, it's fluttering. He did have some issues. He told me up front, there's issues. I left it in because actually you're going to see, I think it actually adds something to the quality of the overall film experience. A lot of his film was really overexposed. And I think that goes back to he was having some issues with his cameras. Everybody that I sent film to, myself included, I was number 6, had some issues. His issues were a little bit of flutter and some overexposure. It does get a little better once we get a little deeper into the film. It's 2.5-ish minutes, I believe, now that I've set all that up. Manny's word was play. That is correct. This is his fun rendition. And by the way, what's the old saying? There's no right or wrong answer. There's no wrong way to do this. This was 100% just for fun. So it didn't matter what you did with your film. We all had a fun little single muse word. And as I'm talking, I'm queuing up his film, by the way. We all had our own little word. Mine was time. We did Mike's last week. He had art. Empty is next week. That's Jeffrey. Food was Matthew. And Dave Knopf had hope. So we'll get to those later. But for right now, let's see what Manny came up with. Again, very overexposed at the beginning, but bear with it. Somebody get the lights, please. Thank you. If you guys cannot hear music, I'm going to be frustrated, so let me know. Okay, thank you, Ben. Radios, he used 3 different cameras. We'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah, I liked this one, Mike, this song. Love that shot right there. Yep, me too, Ben. Yes, it is interesting, Ben. I think that's I want to say that's an Elmo marking. Yay, Manny! Woohoo! Great job, Mr. Manny. Great job. I love that he made an appearance in it as well. Even Piper is cheering for you. Yay! Great film, very fun. Yes, that was fun. Now, Manny, if I'm not mistaken, he did write on here a Bauer S209, a Chinon 80 SMR, Chinon Pacific 80 SMR, and the Elmo, is it 110 SXL, or was it the 1012? Might be the 1012 SXL. Yes, Manny. Nice work. Can't wait to send in my edit for food. Get it in, Matthew. Next week, don't forget, we will have Jeffrey. Jeffrey's is complete. I have it back. It's ready to go. And you're gonna like this one too. This one's fantastic. Christian is here. The sun through the trees. Yes, really cool. Nice work. Can't wait. Can't wait. Really good. Really good. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoyed this little experience with these. We're gonna do something else. I don't know what yet. We talked about 16 millimeter. We talked about 120 film. But we're going to do something else. I just don't know what it is yet with the community. This is a cool video. It was the 1012. Okay, SXL Elmo. So those were the 3 cameras that Manny used. Manny used the Bauer S209, the Chinon Pacific 80 SMR, and the Elmo 110 or 1012 SXL. I have all of those cameras, except for the Bauer. I don't have any Bauers left. I got more 620 cams than 120. Do you have any 120s? Will be superb. To Rave Techno Club for back. Yeah. I keep debating if I want to include every shot for my roll since we're out of focus. If I want to try to get a tight edit. You know, that's going to be your call, Matthew. If it's a little short, it's a little shorter, you know. 2 minutes. 3 minutes, whatever you decide. I don't think it's going to hurt. I mean, I've seen your film, and there are some out of focus shots, but I think there's a lot that are not. So, if it were me personally, I would include portions of the out of focus stuff. I think it would add a little bit to it. What were the cameras we saw in the film briefly? Oh yeah, what were those cameras, Manny? I cut out just a bit. It was to fit the music. Yeah, yours came out nice, Jeffrey. The only thing I wish on yours is there's a lot of compression now that we've sent them back and forth. It's going to show a little bit. It's not going to... Maybe it enhances it a little bit, but I did notice a lot more compression artifacts. And that is 100% because of the different renderings back and forth. Marbles in the playground at elementary school. You used to play, huh? What was that, Barry? In the 1920s? Or when was that? I can't remember. It's not like you don't bust my chops. I do have your film. I think I told you, right? I'm going to be processing a roll and a film for Barry. I do have it. It's on the. It's up to bat. It's old. It's some Sonic 25 from FPP, the 50s. Nice. Was it scanned at 4K? It's scanned at 4K-ish. I used my yeah. It was Jeffrey. I scanned them all the same in as high a resolution as I could with that scanner right there on the left. Not 100% true 4K, but it's close in the 4x3 format. But again, it's more of a prosumer scanner. It's not a professional scanner, and it's not a consumer scanner. I'd say it's right in the middle. Sadly, there's no more support for it because the company is out of business. I still have some of my shooter marbles from the... Ooh! Some of them are worth a little money now, Mike, I think. Okay with the jokes, but as I understand the camera, maybe a lens leak matter in it. Maybe, Jim, I don't know. That's something that Manny's going to have to address. I don't know if he manually exposed. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I can resend it in a higher... That's up to you, Jeffrey. Whatever you decide. I do have it. I mean, I have it downloaded. I think what happened probably is that we've also rendered them in different formats. You're in an MOV format, and I sent it to you in MP4. So it's going to happen, I think, no matter what. It really is. I'm not expecting much due to the camera changing speeds on its own. Yeah, well, we'll find out. And I'll send it to you. I'm certainly not going to show it here without your permission. I know that's your film. So we'll get it done. I'll send it to you. You look at it. If there's some pieces of it you feel like sharing, you let me know and we can. Otherwise, that's your personal film. We need to get us one of them fancy drum barrel scan. Yeah, I know. Those are cool. Those are really cool. So here it is, kids. We are 1 hour and 15 minutes in. These go by so quick, don't they? I'm not expecting much. And wet scanning. Wet scanning's great. I follow, Silver Grain Classics, the magazine, and they have been doing a lot of wet scanning lately. Wet behind the ears scanning. Yeah. Show it. It's just Halloween. All right, sure. We will see Manny, or not Manny, but Barry's film. We saw Manny's film. Manny, I am really impressed with what you did, by the way. It's super, super great. Very artistic. A little bit of soul in that film. I really enjoyed it. Manny exposed everything. I did about 4 stops over. Yeah, we probably should have done 1 to 2 stops over. And I tried to pull out as much as I could by adding contrast and adjusting the black levels. But in the future, 1 to 2 stops for old Tri-X is always usually sufficient. Those Yashica space gun cameras, those things are really cool. I like those. I like them because they look like Star Trek phaser guns. Only downside, no real manual override or exposure, and you don't know what the f-stop actually is. Because they're super basic, right? There's nothing to them. Videos. We have too much fun. Just curious, since you likely have extra 16mm film sitting around, have you ever tried loading and using Minolta 16 still cameras? So that's a good question, Limelight. I do have some Minolta, the little spy cameras, and I've tried using them, but I've never tried processing anything from them yet. I've always had other things going on. So to answer your question, no, I haven't really messed with it too much, but I want to. And I have thousands of feet of 16mm film sitting around. In fact, I have a whole case of, what's that film they use for the whatchamahoozits? No perforations in it, 16mm. The you know what I'm talking about. That I want to try for that. What do they call that? Tip of my tongue. Grr. Microfilm. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, I have a bunch of 16mm microfilm. Microfiche. Remember that? You search old newspapers. I hate it when my fingers accidentally hit the send button prematurely. What did you send? Agfa Movie Zoo. I know what you mean. I just saw Silver Grain Classics post a K3 unboxing from the guy I'm debating buying a refurbished camera from. Max Karpenko in Russia. I think he's very reputable, by the way, Matthew. That name has come up here several times, and he's quite reputable as far as I know. I've never used him personally, but if Silver Grain Classics, I trust them a lot. I was in their magazine. I don't know if you guys saw it. They did an article, both digital and in print, which was kind of fun. But I would trust them, you know, check with them, but Max's name has come up several times. Yeah, the FPP is a great source for those little cameras. Maynard 100 off topic. Greetings from Sophia. Where is Sophia? And greetings. Thank you for being here. Microfilm. You know what I mean. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Not the Watchamahoozits. Yeah, I've seen those. I have a 16-2 myself, and I've been using it a lot. I have the little tiny one too that takes really little film, and I have a couple rolls of that film. I just never processed any of it yet. I take that back. I processed some of it for a customer once, and it came out. but I don't remember how I processed it. I have it documented somewhere. On the K3, what should the exposure meter be set to since not using the you know, Mark, that's a good question. I never use the internal meter. I have never used that internal meter on either of mine. So I just meter. I always just use it with my light meter. That's cool, Mike. Do you have a link for the article that said I should just subscribe to the physical magazine? I don't have a link to it. No. I have the what issue was it? Hang on one second. I don't remember what I'm terrible at this stuff. I actually have several issues of their magazine. I love their magazine, but if you're not familiar with it, this is Silver Grain Classics. It's insanely beautifully made. These are keepsakes. They're books. They're not, you know, I don't know if you can call them magazines per se, but I don't remember. One second. Give me 1 second. This is the one. Yeah, there's the goofball on the inside where my finger is with my Airy. But yeah, the this is spring of 2023. It's issue 18. I did an article, Virtual Connections. Here, there's Piper, or that's me, that's Piper. But I did a picture when my wife and I went to Savannah, Georgia, and my best bud here, over here, just some filming we've done, some found film, because that's what I really love doing. You know, it was a really fun time writing this, and you know, getting some. She called herself Mama because she was very, in a good way, critical of certain proofreading. The girl Shayla, I don't remember her name. I feel bad. She's such a sweetheart. She was even like, I'm a mom. I'm like a teacher. Okay, I'm going to get on you when there's punctuation or things that are wrong, and I'm a nut for punctuation and you know, proper grammar and stuff like that. So I thought I did well. Then when she got a hold of it, she's like, no, we got to fix this. We got to fix that. We got to fix this. Hello, just managed it. Hey, Remjet is here. What? Who are you? Good to see you. The guy who rebuilds the K3 into Super 16 claimed the internal light meter is accurate. I just never used it. Nice sports short, Mike. Hey, Zulian. Thank you. There's another guy that's really reputable. If you guys are looking for cameras, is Zulian Brun. Super 8 Today. Check out his stuff. He's always got good cameras. Yankee Clipper 2 processing tank. Bad quality, but works really well with small film stocks. I have one of those, Eric. And you're right. The quality is terrible. But the film fits in it. I think you can fit 8mm or Super 8 in there. It's probably Minox. It was Limelight. It was Minox. That's exactly right. Oh, you found the link. Nice, Matthew. Just managed. I got my test meter on my Bowl XP3 soon. Got to get the correct batteries. I have a P3 and it needs a lot of work. I need to take it apart and oil it up and get it running right again. Spot on. That's good to know, Cecil. Mark says he just uses Sekonic L478D and leaves that dial on the camera. I have a nice old school digital light meter that works really well that I use sometimes, but a lot of times it's just easier to use my app. Rimjet says, I'll see if I can pick up that issue. Yeah, it's fun. This is so cool, Mike. I need to get a subscription. That's a great magazine. I mean, not just because I was in it, but because that's obviously not the the main attraction, but it highlights and showcases a lot of different film shooters. Now they do mainly still film, which is what a lot of us do anyway, but just article after article, color and black and white, glossy, thick, keepsakes. Hey, Rimjet. My P3 needs work too. Oh, did Remjet get your Fujika with your giveaway? That was cool. Or did he buy it? Ben did a giveaway a couple weeks ago. He gave a couple cameras away. I enjoy when these streams go a bit long. Yeah, sometimes we just go and go. I have a solid light meter app. Seems like there are a few really good ones. Yeah, the one I use, Travis. I used one for a long time and then quit. And then Travis got me on this. It's just called light meter. It's hard. I don't know if I can show you guys, but it's just called light meter. It's got a little L, with the quarter circle connecting it. It's always been good for me. It seems to work fine. It gets me really close. Let me see if I can find it in the App Store. Right there. This is the one I use. Lumu light meter. Yeah, and I need to update it. Can you guys, are you able to see that at all? That's the one I use, and it seems to work just fine. Beauty, managed to shoot some K40 in a very brief. So I'm going to try a Stant Plus, the benzotriazole development, see how it turns out. Get film sweats all the time. So used to MLM. Oh man. Always, I print manuals because I don't like PDF in Monitor. Printed manuals is great, yeah. I like light and depth. That's something I need to check out then. Do they have a cine option? By the way, I did start watching that film you guys told me about from the 1900s. Very interesting. That silent film. What was it called? The Closet of Dr. Caligari. Very cool. I think. I don't know what's more cool: the fact that it exists, or the fact and its content, or the way it exists and the reason why it exists. Light and depth meter. It's a free meter. I don't think it's got a cine setting. Well, I think this one does. But if I'm being perfectly honest, they're very similar anyway. You're going to get within a quarter to a half a stop no matter what. Dr. Caligari is a cool old silent film. It is really interesting. I haven't finished it, but it's really cool. Guys, I'm going to cut it off. My daughters and I have some stuff to do. Cabinet. The cabinet of Dr. Cabinet. Okay. What did I say? Closet? Is it the cabinet? Let me make sure I have it written right. Well, I have it saved. I've been watching it. I have closet on here. I don't know why I have closet, but it is the cabinet. Never tried benzo before. I have tried benzo. It worked, but it sort of cleared the entire film rather than just the fogged area. For me personally, I probably used too much. You're welcome, Lyle. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I don't do these streams. I couldn't do them without you, so thank you so much for everybody. You guys mean the world to me. Film is number 2 in my life. My family is number 1. Film is number 3. My family is number 1, and you guys are number 2. I mean, 2 is great still. I mean, we're talking about out of at least 4 things. Oh, I'm trying to be Jeffrey, and it's not working. So I really had a good time, but my daughters and I have some things we want to do. My wife isn't here. She'll be home in a couple days, so we're going to go, do a couple things. Great info. Thanks. Haja! Yes, Eric, thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's good seeing all these beautiful, familiar faces again. Bye, Piper. Thanks, Mike. Great stream. Greetings from London. Thanks for being here, Ben. I appreciate it. You want to peek your head in? Just don't hit the camera. You can peek in. Say bye. Here, come through here. Piper just wants to say goodbye really quick. Bye. Well, that's just my water.
Ooby.
Ooby. Take care. Bye-bye. 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 You want to say bye to anybody?
Bye.
There's their names right
Bye,
there.
everybody.
See the names? Say bye to that one. Who is that?
Which one? That one that just like is like.
What does it say?
This side towards screen.
Say that's Jeffrey the smarty alley-ick. Guys, I appreciate you. Piper and I appreciate you. Holding off on more cameras and getting well-needed accessories and films. Future filmmaker and award winner, Piper. All right, stand up. You're going to tip over. Guys, we will see you next Sunday, barring any crazy emergencies. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Love all your faces, of course. Piper and I will see you guys.
What are you talking about me?
What? Everybody's saying hi to Piper. Isn't that fun?
You don't know what I was doing over there.
You were dancing.
No,
No?
yeah, but a little bit, but then I was doing something else.
What were you doing?
You have to come see.
I got to go check it out. All right. Guys, we'll see you next Sunday. I really appreciate all of you. Peace out.